In this video, we cover why of all places, Confederates decided to flee to Brazil right after losing the Civil War to the Union. Who was first to arrive, what the journey was like, and what happened in its disastrous end. Estimates between 10 and 20,000 Confederates fled to Brazil right after the war. It was a perfect spot as the agriculture was very familiar in southern Brazil to that in the American South. But let us not be foolish, as the agriculture alone doesn't make people take such risk on a move like this. Colonel William Norris knew this, as he was one of the first to go, settling in Sao Paulo state. And don't be mistaken, like I said, he didn't make the move just because agriculture was good and familiar. There were a boatload of incentives. Brazil was the only Western nation where slavery was still legal in 1865, and no wars were going on there to dispute it. In fact, Brazilian Emperor Dom Pedro II heard about the Confederates, sympathized with them, and encouraged them to immigrate over. He went as far as offering cheap land to the Confederates for prices as low as 22 cents an acre. This pleased Norris, so much so that he bought around 500 acres of land reminiscent of his Alabama holdings. And you guessed it, he also bought slaves to work on the land and continue his pre-war lifestyle as it was in the old days before the war. The emperor made the move even easier for men like Norris, providing financial assistance, paying for the transportation costs, and temporary housing upon arrival. He reserved docking spots when the men arrived and shrouded them with supplies immediately. It was a sort of safe haven for these men. The soldiers received favorable tax breaks during their time to ease the burden even further. The emperor bent over backward for these soldiers and their families. But it wasn't all sunshines and rainbows for long, as Rocky Balboa points.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
Most Confederate colonies there disintegrated within a few years. Emperor Dom Pedro II's reign ended with a military coup that established a republic in 1889, and slavery was abolished in Brazil in 1888. A lot of those who immigrated eventually came back to the American South. The relics of the past still have their historic mark on Brazil today, but the ideas held have fortunately died out to a substantial amount. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and if you learned something or would like to add more info that I missed, please leave a comment for us to all gain more knowledge on this topic. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.